All right, once more into the breach. Our final day of Infinity grinding. I guess we could technically grind Infinity on Monday. We'll see how today goes. Give him some pork and beans here. Absorbing man. Opponent is cooking. Yet we are the ones who are baked. Rip. I'm gonna stay for the snap because I have Shang-Chi for their monster. Hey, Golem Bampy, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. And Boggy BK, thank you for the brand new Prime. Appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna Shang here. So I think we ship this across. I'm gonna try for the Infinite Avatar off stream. I could not care less about the cosmetic. Assume they have Modokr sit here. No Modok is huge. Please be 2 power. Rip. Man, this hand is super awkward. They could theoretically still Modok here, but if they didn't Modok last turn, they typically are drawing Chavez. The problem is I think they're gonna play here. I just can't play any of my cards out. Free space throws too rough.
Escaped.
No Viper or Carnage in sight here, unfortunately. There could be merit to playing the Hood on the right to like build up over here for a Carnage, but if I draw Viper, I want this entry. Abomination path clear, or Void, or whatever it's called, Void. Red. The problem here is I don't know that this necessarily wins here. But they have Dracula. Probably get got. Now, the scary part here is they could fill the right with their swarms, but if they're filling the right with their swarms, they're also not Modocking this turn, so that we might have a chance to win the center, I suppose. Wow, I can't believe they stayed for the snap. That is such a weak turn 5. People hate retreating, chat. They just absolutely hate it. Hand is 7 cards in it. I guess if they have Modoc, this would go plus 12, plus 14. Oh, I forgot to play Ham for a tiebreaker, sure. Oh, I could Ham their Apocalypse. Oh my god, that's so huge. Oh, mistakes were made. Just 4 cubes of that, I deserve it. We'll play another. We're good despite my mistake, huh? That should have been way less close. It was much closer than it needed to be. Something that is worth noting, there's no Chavez in their deck, right? Snap before we pork them. Hitting Modoc or Apocalypse are both very good.
Victory.
Carnage is a terrible.
Oh, snap.
Your hand's all right. We've got the Spider Ham again. I'll queue up Debris to clutter a little bit, and then we'll go like Ham into Carnage over here. Yeah, the discard deck got significantly worse with the addition of Spider Ham to the game. Is Ham on 4 or 5 better? I think Ham is just ideal whenever it fits into my curve eloquently. So, like, now that we drew Sentry, I'll wait till turn 5 to Ham. But there's definitely, like, merit in hamming a little bit earlier, because, like, they could have Modok and not have Apocalypse, and, like, hamming their Modok is, like, also good. Hey, Alex, thank you for the tip. As a heads up, I have one other deck submission after this one. Shields will be up in a little while.
Victory.
Appreciate the support. The first high stakes round, so opponent is in for 2 right off the bat. I drew Viper to go with my hood, so I'm gonna just go ahead and put him in for the 3rd cube here. Find out, is this where they want to make their stand?
Opponent snapped.
I feel like Ham should hit a random card. That makes Ham better, especially in the bounce deck. Yes, Dream Dimension is also good for us. Like, not only is our hand good, but this location favors us. Potentially means their Modok doesn't play. Go left! Go left! And with that hit, I can now fill here with Demon and then be able to play Sentry somewhere else if I want. Or fill here with Mary, I think is the plan. Act. Is that perfect? I think I just spread out and play for all 3, right? We do this, and then we go 10 power thing, 10 power thing. Yeah, I think so. I have not heard anything from Second Dinner about the weekend missions, and I've asked, so I don't know if that's still forthcoming or what the plan is. They only have 2 cards in hand, so I assume we're done here. This format's a lot easier when you run into off-meta decks. I got 300 medals, which means I get 105 boosters. Hit me, dealer. Sentinel boosters. It's always a little sad when I get boosters for a card I already have inked or gold. The Jesus Fish, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate the support. Welcome back. John Dorian, thank you for the half a year. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, so On viewer submission days, the deck history isn't really going to work on Untapped because I keep just updating the same deck in my deck editor. Apologies for that, but there's just not a convenient way to do it since I'm limited to 20 deck slots, so every time we get a new viewer deck submission, I just paste it over the last one. It's unfortunately just the most efficient way to do it. Sunset Bleach, thank you for the over 2 years. Welcome back. And Cap and Happy, thanks for the 5 months. Here's a chance I'll add target. I think we will never get 100% targeted boosters because encouraging people to kind of chase boosters gets people to play the game more. He definitely run Enchantress. Yes, likely. There's gonna be a double Rickety Bridge game, though. I think that would actually be kind of okay for us. I'm gonna do this. Clear this here. And then next turn we'll go Debris Spider Ham and kind of fill these up. Yes, them not getting a copy center is good for us. White Queen's interesting include there. I know Debris is coming now though. The old pig pen. Oh my god, getting rid of their Magneto is great. Ooh, losing that coin flip sucks though. Huh? This wins most of the time, I think, right? Because of the Rickety Bridge. Thanks to Pork and their Magneto. If they Pork here, they play their big 6 drop, I win here and here. I think the good stuff Black Bolt deck isn't super popular per the metrics, and I think that deck is not popular because it's a shit bounce matchup. I don't know that you could meaningfully improve the bounce matchup with that deck. Oh my god, we lost by 1. Fucking brutal. Maximus is a good one to know. There's like full-on 0 stuff. Worth noting that they won this game by 1 point because they won the pig coin flip, right? If their pig had hit my hazmat instead of hitting this, we would have carnaged these and we would have won this easily. Yeah, the White Queen's pretty random. I mean, White Queen's like a pretty generically okay card. So it's probably fine from that perspective. Magneto's a little random too, honestly. This makes me wish I would have played this here, but I obviously could have known that was coming. I might die anyways. I don't have Mr. Cage yet. I also don't want to play Demon here because, I don't play Demon here because if I draw Carnage, I want to deploy that there. Doing my civic duty and watching your best decks video. Thank you, Sam. That, and something that doesn't bode well generically for Conquest metrics, that best decks video is the worst I've ever had a generic list of decks ever perform. What if I do this, actually? They could play 2 cards here, and then I get in trouble. Feels unlikely. Goblin takes a long, strange trip. Yeah. Holy shit, their collection of random cards is just absolutely savaging us. Holy fuck. I don't think there's anything we could have done to play around any of this. I'm happy with every play that I've made in these games. It's just like, my opponent just has a random collection of cards. I hope they play against High Evolutionary and get their shit pushed in for the next 3 matches. There's 0% chance anything they're doing keeps up with that. And that's, honestly, that's why, again, like, you can play off-meta stuff in here, even if you think you, like, might beat the meta decks, but there's enough other people that are playing random off-meta brews that are gonna randomly hose you, that it's just like, well, you're always just better off playing the stock good decks. You'll have the shirt. Yeah, this is a good one. Into the AM is actually one of our stream sponsors, and they make a ton of excellent stuff. A lot of fantastic graphical designs. I find it satisfying to build my own decks that are good into the meta decks and be successful into the meta decks. I find it frustrating to build my own deck that's good into the meta deck and then run into something that's close to 0% against a meta deck and then lose to it because of random bullshit. To articulate my position on feelings about stuff like that. So brewing to beat the best decks is something I really enjoy. I think I'm giving up DC because there's no way I'm ever beating DC against the Sauron deck. That being said, I might want to play to clutter this, huh? Pig gets +3 in DC. Yeah, but all their shit gets bigger in DC, including the pig I gave them. This is no abilities, though. That is correct. No, you do not get the on reveal from Electro with Sauron. Otherwise, this would be a thing people would do. If you Sauron and then Electro, you have a 3 energy 2 power card. We haven't seen one card yet. It could still be Shang-Chi, right?
Victory.
Oh, it's Magneto. Yeah, it's totally Magneto. You're right. When you pork something, it doesn't appear on the deck tracker currently. Good shout. Good shout. Yeah, they aren't playing Red Skull in their Sauron Zero deck. So they could have our Shang-Chi now. Yes, or Sentry or Mary, but they could have our Shang-Chi, is noteworthy. I should play around Arrow. Yep. So that means I want Luke Cage to be my last card. If they play their Magneto here, they go to +7, and I'm at 6-8. They play their Magneto here, they get 10 off of it. They go to 4. I'm only at 3. I actually can't beat the Magneto, huh? The Magneto's a pig, chat. This plays for all 3 and beats Magneto. Oh, my original play fucking beat this. Lost a goddamn coin flip. We just knew they had Magneto, so I think it's right to play around that. I guess we know they potentially have a Sentry or Barry, though, too. I mean, that's not that doesn't have to do with overthinking. Playing around the card we know that they have in their hand isn't an overthink, it's just good play. Just because you make a proper percentage play doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win the game. In fact, many times you'll make a proper percentage play and you'll lose anyways. That's how games that are variance by design work. Hitting Sauron is Snapple. I mean, Sauron's not actually that good in their deck. It actually doesn't accomplish a lot for them. It like enables Ebony Maw, I guess, but that's it. I think I'm playing this anyways because it throws priority, and then we plan to just win these other 2 locations. And did you try out Road and Dark Arc decks? No submissions for that, but I also don't think that deck is very good. That's not too surprising. Alright, on to the next one.
Escaped.
On to the next one. That's unfortunate. I think this deck's got some really neat ideas in it for combating the top decks of the format, but sometimes you run into more random things and they get you. Like the archetype that we played against here is, I don't even know if it's fair to call it an archetype. It's probably, not even probably, it's really going to struggle against both of the good decks of the format. It doesn't have any interaction for the bounce deck, and it can't put out numbers that are anywhere near enough, and the other deck goes way over the top of it. And we got like, if we hadn't gotten hit by the arrow in that one game, we keep 4 cubes. And if we, everyone happened to the other. Oh, the other one, we lost by 1 point because we lost a coin flip on their Spider Ham, right? Their Spider Ham hit our Carnage instead of our Hazmat. Yeah, I would bet we play that matchup 3 or 4 more times. We probably win it a lot of the time. Sure, Smoking Dragon. Deal. Call. Going again? Yeah, we're playing Infinite Conquest for most of the morning. We have 3 or 4 submissions lined up after this one. 2. No, I'm a liar. I have 2 more after this one. So at a minimum, we're doing 2 more. Hawthorne, thank you for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back.
Face the might of Asgard. Union.
I kind of want to go like Hazmat Hood here in this order, so I could Viper Carnage next turn. That could just be too cute though. It's probably just this, right? Giving them a rock is fine. It's a little bit more energy efficient for us. They have Jubilee here. More mirror is so good for them if this is a Jubilee. Brutal. Okay, they bricked on the Jubilee at least. I'm trying to think on whether or not I want to play the demon. I think I'm saving the demon. Because the only other 4-drops I could draw next turn are Shang-Chi or Sentry, and we're gonna have priority. You wanna play demon in case of wave? That's a fair take. It's a fair take. And they probably can't get into Morag with Wasp being gone.
Victory.
They turn 5 wave against our deck. I think against... Oh, I guess they don't know Zabu's coming yet. Assuming most people are playing wave is probably a good position to have at the moment. I don't expect them to be able to keep up in the Gamma Lab, so I'm gonna snap him in the Gamma Lab. We're also a Shang-Chi deck, which gives us an advantage in the Gamma Lab. It's a Lockjaw deck, they won't wave. Well, if you check out my best decks and Conquest video from this morning, you will see that not only is the most popular Lockjaw deck playing wave, but I also talk about how you probably should be playing wave in your Lockjaw deck and why. So, yeah, I think if you're assuming Lockjaw doesn't have wave at this point, you're going to lose to wave a bunch. Watch the video, tap the like button. Be the real MVP. They're a Lockjaw Jubilee deck. We're gonna snap the Lamentus. It is worth noting, like, our hand is strong, is another reason to stay here. But it is also worth noting that their Thor is better because of this location. They're doing Sentry next turn, Viper Debris the following turn, Hazmat Carnage the last turn. I bet they have Thor, is the reason they stayed. Hey, look, chat. It's the wave we said they're playing. Fuck.
Opponent snapped.
I Viper this turn. I Debris Carnage next turn. I Sentry Hazmat the last turn. It's a very big pig. Are we getting ghosted then? That's what's happening, right? And that sucks. I mean, I don't know that we can win if they're ghosting. They might just be playing around Shang-Chi. How does playing your 8-drop not on the Nexus play around Shang-Chi? This is 5, 8 to 10. We just have to go, unfortunately, because we're down 3 in the middle too, so we have to win the Nexus by more than 3.
Escape.
It's a shame Shang-Chi wasn't in our Lamentus cards, so we would have gotten 8 cubes there and won the match.
Live from the Daily Bugle.
Yeah, snapping into the known Shang-Chi too is, it's gonna be an uphill climb. I mean, for the people that are sending in decks, you just gotta accept that we're gonna get stream sniped, not 0 amount of the time. It's just like how it goes.
Opponent snapped.
I have Shang-Chi, so like maybe I could justify staying in here, but I think we just have to go. It's the second time we've gotten fucked by Space throughout this morning. It was basically a free retreat too, because it was the last 1 cuber to put us to 5 before we rolled a high stakes game, so it's the freest of retreats.
Face the might of Asgard. Union.
It's a solid before they Jubilee left.
Union. To me.
A bit of energy to spend over the course of these next 2 turns. I think it's just like this. I don't think Spider Ham accomplishes a ton for us here. And then if we draw Sentry, we could go Sentry, Carnage the right, plus D-Man. They played 2 cards. They played 2 cards on the right. It could be Lockjaw Wasp, yeah. Does this affect meet its Wasp? It's an interesting feature. Just do this and play for all three. Hey, look, I waited till almost the last possible second to click the button, and now they're waiting to lock in their play until after I go. Weird. They played a single card and waited till after we thought through everything and put it down to put their thing in. All right. In our... We're gonna get -2 down to 12. Hit me, dealer. Oh, we don't get minus because of what's it called. Got it. All right. Okay, and now we're 5-4. So we could win the next one, or we could lose and then win 2 in a row. And for the future ones, we'll hide our plays on turn 6 at least. I'm not gonna hide my plays the entire time, but when it comes down to deciding what we're doing, we'll hide on turn 6. I guess it's gonna be Debris into Sentry into Carnage. Can I snap them here and try and put them all in? I think I stick to my golden rule of you never snap the Lockjaw deck before 3. Yeah. Yes, there's a good chance they're playing Dr. Doom. I mean, what are the odds Shang-Chi puts them in the ground over there? Non-zero? I kind of want a Viper to lock their path over here, but I guess if we're only playing for 2 paths, this is probably fine. I think I'm gonna make this the game.
All systems go.
I just can't win, is the problem. As bad as it feels to say. I just can't win. Two in a row now. I should have stuck to my original play of locking them on the right, and then the hazmat draw would have let us win the game.
This land can never be fully known.
God, our hand is so bad for this. Or with no name on the right, that would be the real MVP. You do remember they could have our Shang. My deck drive lineup. I have two more after this one. Unfortunately, we're going to be going to the next one here. I don't have any lines. It feels bad set to start the morning. I will say, I'll be interested to see how Conquest does long-term in terms of popularity, because the longer games, and even just a little bit higher stakes, definitely hurt some of the things that make Marvel Snap good. Like, I think Snap's shorter, punchier games that let you, like, kind of not care about variance nearly as much, you lose that aspect of it. And it has a lot of the very similar Magic the Gathering feel bads that, you know, I did for a very long time. Rick and Jan, thank you for the 5 months, by the way. Welcome back. It does highlight skill. It is very skillful when my opponent is playing and can see every action that I take and play around them. I agree. Highly, highly skilled. As soon as I play Conquest, where I hit a matchup that's a direct counter to mine and I'm basically just dead from game one, I just go back to normal stab. Yeah, the polarizing matchups are a big problem too. This location is bad for us. I guess Widow's kind of a non-mo with Gambit. It's fitting that we just talked about queuing up into a matchup that's unwinnable for you in the first game, and my Wong Gambit deck has queued into Wolverine Cosmo. I don't think this is a snipe at all. It's just like, just a big LOL high. At least when you're playing Magic the Gathering and this happens, you can. At least in this play, is we're playing Magic the Gathering and this happens, you could just like sideboard and lie to yourself that you have a chance. But here it's just like, yeah. What does 500 gold cost? 500 out of 8,000 is 0.625. So yeah, six bucks. So we'll just go next. It's 500 gold's like $6. Actually, you donated 30 from the start, if I recall. I'm just gonna nope out, and we'll take a mulligan.
Escape.
Take your thing. And that experience of your deck gets hard countered by these things is a big part of what makes the good decks better in this format, right? Like, a big part of the reason why things like High Evolutionary Lockjaw is one of the best decks in Marvel Snap is because it doesn't have any polarized bad matchups, because there's no chance to sideboard and protect yourself from cards that hurt you. Yes, this game mode strongly favors decks like High Evolutionary. Anything that's already good gets pushed to being much better. I think Elysium's probably very good for our deck, so I'm gonna snap. Somebody send help! I'm being bullied! Fuck you, I'll put my Wong where I want to put my Wong. Is that correct? I'm probably just supposed to do this, right? This is playing to win, right? This is the fuck you line. It's way more fun to... Okay, Prototype wants us to Zola the Wong. It's his run. We'll Zola the Wong. Ironheart and Gambit are gonna win the game. Rip. Rip! Never lucky rubber ducky. Never lucky rubber ducky. Is your gambit taking bribes? Ooh, that's fun. Do I want to put this back in my hand? I might. I might want to put this back in my hand. I also like might want to put it over here though. I think I'm putting it over here. And then hopefully this is a good Wong path. This could be an okay Wong path. If Gamma Lab ends up here, it's fine. Whoa, they put their lockjaw into Gamma Lab. That's surprising. How much stronger would Ironheart be if she could hit herself? A good bit. I don't know that this card needs a buff. I think she's probably pretty reasonable as is.
Victory.
Widow good in the lockjaw metagame. Widow's very good into a few different decks. Less than great in the lockjaw. I don't know. A lot of the time, like, it gives up, like, one, lockjaw players are lucky and always have their card anyways. But two, what's our search for? Honestly, I don't know that I want a Black Panther early. Yeah, do we snap the Hulk with Panther Zola? It could also be right to just never snap before turn 3 because lockjaw. Although if they lockjaw, they're probably going here.
Face the might of Asgard. Mjolnir.
Without their Hulk, does 2 16 power Panthers get there?
Mjolnir.
They had the lockjaw last turn, and they just hit the hammer the first time. Okay. I should have played this here, so that way I could Panther across this way. I think we're dead here.
Wakanda forever.
A 16 does it here. I will say the one thing from a enjoyment practice perspective of these Infinity Gauntlets is I really don't enjoy the all or nothing system of you lose one match and then you're done. It would be kind of nice if, like, they would let you play for 3-2 or 4-1, and maybe they, like, give you a gold ticket if you 3-2, and they give you an infinite ticket back if you 4-1. Like, you could still leave the top cosmetic prize at 4-0, but that, the one and done nature of it really amplifies the feel bads of I got locked into a matchup that was unwinnable for me. And you don't even have to give a big prize. Just like give them something that, like, if you get your entry, let them play for an entry fee back or just a spot back in further up along the line. I would be fine with being like, okay, you really want to make people like chase the dragon for the 5-0, but like don't make them set all the way back down. That's what the medals are for. The medals don't do that. You can only buy an extra ticket one time. The medals are literally worth boosters to anybody that's playing the game mode, any amount. They don't have lockjaw. I'm gonna snap. You spent 3K medals on boosters. I've spent like tens of thousands of medals on boosters at this point. If they wanted to adjust the medal count and then put an infinite ticket or a gold ticket you can buy in the shop an unlimited number of times, that could be a fine thing to be doing too. Yeah, I think this is wave... Ironheart? No, I think I want to leave myself the ability to draw, I don't need to Psylocke because of the Superflow, right? No, I do? I do. I don't need to Psylocke here, though, because of the Superflow. Okay, Psylocke saves one. Then I get to play 2 cards, and they only get to play 1. This probably wins it, right? Just lose to Hulk in the middle? This would statistically put 10, 17 here, putting us at 32. Yeah, that beats Hulk. I think I want to Doom first. It probably goes either way. I think I want to guarantee one of the Tigers goes left. Oh, it's less because of the Doom nerf. Yeah. Quick maths. Quick, sloppy maths.
Face the might
We
of
might just set up a long path here in the Dark Dimension, huh? Dark Dimension equals snap, maybe? I don't have Odin, right?
Mjolnir to me.
Okay, I'll snap on Panther. The worst case on this Zola is the Zola hits Ironheart and then Wong and misses Panther altogether. They're gonna Magneto left. Well, the Dark Dimension means Magneto doesn't matter. The Reed in the background with the rainbow looks really good on this animation. This is such a great split of the gold glimmer border. I have not played the bounce deck through a what's it called? A thing. But I wanna point something out, chat. Let's say you think I'm an absolute wizard with the bounce deck. You say, Jeff, you're one of the best bounce players in the world. I bet you win 80% of your Conquest matches with the bounce deck. And 80% is almost assuredly high. If I have an 80% win rate with the deck that I take into this Conquest tournament, I'm only going to 5-0 30% of the time. So, part of the reason why I've just been having fun playing viewer submissions and dicking around and not taking this seriously is because even if you are a good player playing a good deck, your odds of being successful, the way this tournament mode is structured, is basically zero. It's real low. And the lower your win percentage is than 80, the drastically it decreases. Like if you have a 60% win rate, you're 8% to 5-0. The earliest the new economic system can implement is the end or the next patch on the 11th.
Face the might of Asgard. Mjolnir.
I don't like those odds, Mr. Stark. Yeah. How do you calculate that? You take your win percentage and you raise it to the 5th. Yes, I also think, assuming that we're gonna get stream sniped at least once in 5 matches is probably a reasonable rate as well.
Mjolnir to me.
I needed one of the cats to go middle. What do we think of doing? So I mean, we're all in, right? So Zola rate's the only play. I just gotta hope that we hit the right order and that 14's enough. They're not leaving, chat. They're already in for the 4 cubes. Oh, fuck you and your emotes. My kingdom. My kingdom does not have to deal with emotes. Yeah, we were 50% to win there. Right, we would've gotten it. All right, we got one more viewer submission, and then, in all honesty, I think we're just gonna play ladder. Pretty thoroughly soured on the single elimination experience. Even with people sending dollars to play, it's lost a lot of its luster. I'm curious to see what their attrition and engagement rate is going to be like over the course of the next couple of months with this. It feels like this game mode's gonna boil down to just the people that really want to sweat before very long. Like, there's a big novelty factor with people trying it for the first time this month, but I bet that that's not gonna be the case long term. Yeah, at least the good thing is, like, getting the actual rewards that, like, you semi-care about is, like, pretty trivial, right? So that's nice from that perspective. Yeah, I mean, playing decks that are less good definitely is an extra added uphill battle, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I definitely feel like even the cube count feels off. I've talked about this before. I've talked about this before, but the 10 cubes really feels like the wrong number of cubes in my opinion. I think the cube count should either be 8 or 12. You either need to give slightly more cubes so people can come back from an 8 cube loss, or you need to give less cubes. So that way... The problem here is they're gonna bounce the Hitmonkey and throw priority. Oh. Oh, they're the Sarah builds. Okay. Alright, well, let's draw Modoc and win the game then, huh? I'll play for 4 cubes here for sure. We're gonna add, what? We're gonna add 8 to the Morbius. We're gonna add, like, 2 to 6, like 3 to 6 to the Collector. We gotta hit both of them in the middle or the hit monkey on the left. All right, 1 and 6, 2 and 6, kind of. Pro tip, if your first message in my stream that you followed 11 minutes ago is Jeff, I just showed up and I promise I wasn't stream sniping in my match, the circumstantial evidence there is not in your favor. Like, if you're like a channel regular who's like hung out before and like watches all the time, like that's one thing and that's different. But like, if you like follow a channel for the first time and you're like, hey, whoa, that I wasn't here. I know you exist and I don't normally watch your content, but I wasn't sniping. It's just like, okay, sure. Yeah, sure. Gamers. So just for clarity on the subscriber goal, that is a rolling 30-day count. So yesterday's count included the last day of May. So that number is gonna constantly go up and down and fluctuate all around as subscribers and stuff fall off. We were at 2505 at the start of the stream today. And then over the course of the stream, 50 subs from the last day of last month fell off and haven't been replaced. Modocking? I think I'm just modocking, right? Then we have big apocalypse and swarms, even if they enchantress me here. And if they don't enchantress me, our thing's just like fucking huge. Ladder deck does. Thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, so collector gets to pop up here. Honestly, our hand was good enough. Even if they enchantress us, that maybe I'm supposed to snap there. How big is Morbius? Is it bigger than Apocalypse? It's a good question. I need to play for every location though, right? Yeah, they're definitely a Shang deck. I think it's this if we're staying. And they already played Mysterio, so their Hitmonkey shouldn't be that big. Hey, contents may be hot. Thank you for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. And Lactordectus, thank you for the 5 months. Reminder for pushing the Prime button and the great content. Thank you. Even if we don't hit exactly 2,500 today, we'll keep ad-free for next month. We're close enough. Thank you, Ginger Wookie. Appreciate the prime. They shake middle. I guess shake middle could have done it for us here. Bootman, that is very generous of you. It's good to have you chat with you on stream yesterday. Chat, if you missed it, we had a little bit of a collab with Bootman Marvel Snap there. You should give them a follow. They've been streaming on the Twitch side, and they're going to have an edited YouTube interview with me and him talking about bounce decks over on their YouTube channel later this week. Fallen Angel, thank you for the brand new Prime. Season trailer should be released today. So sometimes it goes up on Friday, sometimes it goes up on the Monday of. It's not super consistent. I'm taking some time off to celebrate the United States. Can you let me know something that is worth celebrating about the United States, and I will perhaps consider it? I'll take it under advisement. Oh, thanks, Wanda. Radar! That is an incredible pile of sub-gifts. I appreciate that. 10 is a lot. Are we snapping here on the kiln? We're really good at barbecuing. That's true. That's just the facts. I was like, what is this last card? Okay, so they're gonna kill Monger next turn then, right? Wait, did I not snap? I thought I pressed the button. Did I not press the button? We did not. We were talking to click. I'm gonna, there were 10 sub gifts, okay? We'll accept not pressing the button. How does anything beat the apocalypse here? They're just retreating later? Yeah, okay. So I gave Ice Butte a cube there by not clicking it. To answer the question less sarcastically, I will not be doing a 10 p.m. stream on Monday night, but I am intending to just, stream my normal workday on, Monday and Tuesday. Hey, Dragsy27, thanks for dragging us back up towards our 2,500 floating goal. Thanks for that. We do have some excellent breweries in the town where I live. You're right, that could be something worth celebrating. This is mostly a free roll, right? Yeah, snapping them on Crimson Cosmos is actually not a bad call out. I think I like that. This is our first 4th of July with our dog. She doesn't like thunderstorms. I'm guessing fireworks are gonna be bad. Yeah, 4th of July is definitely rough for animals. Swarm. we Modoc while we have priority. Hey, Nostrades, thank you for the third of a year. Good morning, good morning. We lose to Shang-Chi plus Enchantress. I mean, they have to guess where the Morbius is, right? I don't know that they're hanging out, but I just don't want to feel bad if we lose. It's just a coin flip, right? Where our stuff ends up. Just leave it where it's at and ship it. Hey, Ray, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Gamma Lab's quite bad for us. Them losing Enchantress is good for us. Okay. We didn't hit our Apocalypse, but they lost Enchantress. Opponent retreated. You notice that I had their stuff. It's a lot of Hulk shit. It's a lot of Hulks. That's fine. We're gonna draw Collector or Morbius this turn, and then we'll draw Modoc for Barca this turn, and we're gonna win the left. Probably gonna be a retreat later angle. We didn't get any of either of our 2 early cards. There's a lot of green on the villain side. They are mean and green. Save us a little bit of time here.
Escaped.
There's Crystal in the deck to help with games like this, where you don't have your Modoc. It's really important that we hit Modoc by 5 or 6. To the person that just asked for the constant stripping of rights in the United States, fuck all the way off, you ignorant prick. There have been triple digits worth of bills restricting trans people's rights in the United States in the last year. There are a number of states that have been restricting women's bodily autonomy in the last year, and I'm sure you know that, but you're just a piece of shit trying to bait someone in my chat, and we don't tolerate that shit here. We don't sit in the middle of the fence. Gestures vaguely at everything. This deck definitely struggles when we don't have Morbius or Collector early. So we don't play Chavez in this deck. Yeah, you want to draw Modok on turn 6 some amount of the time.
Opponent snapped.
Rip. Maybe we hit the real Mysterio on the left. Hey, thanks for the sub gift token. Good morning, good morning. I assume we're dead here. Yeah, okay. We did hit the real Mysterio at least. I'm gonna go back to playing ladder. I'm gonna be honest, the last couple of days playing Conquest, I've really struggled to have fun. The higher entry fee in combination with single elimination and the fact that the metagame is really stagnant when people are trying harder is really just not super enjoyable for me. And to highlight it from a metagame perspective, I had my best decks video this morning. I had way more fun through gold. I agree. Infinite Conquest feels like it kind of killed the format for me, if I'm being honest. I enjoyed Silver and Gold Conquest a lot the last couple of weeks. Infinity Conquest was not super enjoyable. And to highlight the sweatiness a little bit here. So this is let me fix this real quick. Colors are weird. This is Infinity Conquest, 20% Lockjaw, 14% bounce. Inside of Gold Conquest, bounces, I'm sure the Spider Hand bounces 11% here, and Lockjaw is 15%. So all of the best decks, are good. I'm surprised bounce is so high because it has harder with wave. Good bounce players beat turn 5 wave fairly consistently. I would argue wave is worse. I would argue wave is worse against bounce inside of Conquest than it is inside of regular ladder because you could know wave is coming and then play accordingly. So this Conquest stats still aren't available to all paying people because there's been some bugs and random issues with it. It looked relatively reasonable the last couple of days. They said they were hoping to roll it out to everyone this week. But they give access to early features to me personally and a couple other content creators who give feedback and stuff on them. And this was one I was told. Oh, do you have access at home? Do you have access at home now? You could see it this morning. Okay, sweet. You have it. Okay, awesome. It is publicly available. Like I said, I'd be surprised if it wasn't publicly available real soon, because it's looked real reasonable. They do need to group this though. This Spider Ham deck is, archetype down here is just bounce. Just another bounce deck. That's why the best high evolutionary decks are playing Wave Odin. Yes, that's actually true. The most popular lockjaw deck is playing Wave Odin, so you can double them on 4/5. I agree with that. Yes, turn 4 Wave, turn 5 Odin is definitely true. This is the lockjaw deck I talked about really liking in my best decks video this morning. Do Conquest tickets expire? Yes, all the tickets and all the medals expire. Started queuing for my Game 5 of Infinite. Canceled the search because I had to go. No indication at Matchmaking. Came back, started over. Yeah, that's a known bug that they better desperately figure out real compensation for players. I didn't blast about that this morning, and I meant to. Someone tagged me on a Twitter thing. Hold on, I'm scrolling. We understand that you had an issue during your gameplay where you were forced quit, and upon attempting to reconnect, it registered as a loss in the Conquest mode despite having full HP and the incident happening within a minute. We apologize for any frustration or confusion this may have caused. We want to assure you that we are aware of this issue and our team is actively working to fix it. However, we regret to inform you that at this time, we are unable to recover your Infinity ticket or revert the loss with this associate match. Okay. If at any point, this is not just a second dinner thing, but it definitely applies here. If you are ever sending this message as support, we're aware of this issue and we're actively working to fix it. We can't compensate you at this time. The very next sentence needs to be, we're going to compensate you as soon as we possibly fucking can. Like, I'm sympathetic to there being a bug. I'm sympathetic to they don't have the technology to give individual players Infinity tickets at the moment, but not immediately after this, telling you, hey, we're gonna make this right as soon as humanly possible. That's a big miss. Could they give gold? Sure, something needs to happen. This is, I didn't actually retweet this, right? Yeah, I'm gonna say something to that effect. And we'll proofread before we hit send tweet. This is a bad look, Marvel Snap. I understand not having tech in place to give out tickets right away, but not making it clear that you will compensate players ASAP for issues they experience hurts player confidence in the game. Hope to see this addressed. Yeah, they also haven't given out compensation for the weekend missions that were broken last weekend that we were told was going to happen this week. And it's now Friday, so technically it's still this week and it could still happen, but no communication on it since last week. Is a big miss. have any idea how the spotlight caches will come out? They have not told us. I don't expect them to give them a big question people keep asking as someone who has, let's clean these real quick. As someone who's sitting on 120 collector's reserves, people keep asking, hey, can I open around where we expect spotlight caches to be, right? Like, if this is a spotlight cache at 21, 22, can I open the next 9, leave a cache, open the next 9, leave a cache to kind of double dip the crossover between the two systems? And they haven't communicated to us yet what the intention is going to be for making that happen. If that'll be possible, or what levels the things will be cut. Because in theory, there's a couple different places on the collection track where the first spotlight cache to be. Will spotlight caches be as rare as Series 4 cards and caches currently? No, they're 4 times more common than that. You currently open exactly 1 Series 4 card per 40 reserves. Now you will get 4 spotlight caches per 40 reserves. Per 36, technically. 1 out of every 10 is that. Pocket Nation, thank you for the 28 months. When do the reveals of the next series drops happen? So, typically, series drops get announced further out. So I would expect no series drops in the patch on the 11th. The season pass cache, something went wrong happened to be when I restarted my client, the XP was just below the threshold. It might be miscalculating XP in some instances. Yeah, I'm told Conquest has some miscalculations of XP. At worst, you get 1 Series 4 or 5 card per month. So, I'm going to have a video coming out right before the patch releases talking about the end game Marvel Snap economy and things you can or can't do to optimize it and things that are good or bad. But something that's worth noting is that an absolute worst case scenario in an in-optimized use of spotlight caches is you can technically get 0 Series 4 and 5 cards per month under the new system if you open your caches inoptimally. So the big #1 thing to understand about this upcoming new system is that you should never open just a single spotlight cache unless you're missing every card in it. And even then, if you own Series 4 and 5 cards, you probably shouldn't ever be opening just one. Sorry, I didn't understand what you meant by double dipping bolts. It's probably something that's not relevant or possible anyways. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so like, if you, the worst case unoptimized scenario I'm talking about is, let's say you're someone that has like half or a third of the Series 4 and 5 cards. And every single week, there's one, imagine every single week, there's 1 card in the caches. There's 1 card in the caches that you already have. In theory, you could constantly always open a variant every single week. Deadpool Galactus. All right. Got me. And this is the last turn now, actually. Rip.
Escaped.
You have a video explaining this all yet? I have a video that gives an overview of the economy and talks about a couple different situations, but it doesn't get into full optimization stuff or analyze what the end game currency loop is going to be yet. So high level overview is in this economy video here. If you're walking in and be like, what's a spotlight cache? That's something I haven't heard of. You should only open caches when you don't have any of the cards. You should only open caches when you have enough spotlight reserves to guarantee you're gonna get the cards you want out of it. So like, you should basically hold 4 of them and only ever open when you have 4 of them. Having 4 spotlight reserves to open in a week guarantees you can get everything in that set. And a lot of the time, you're not gonna have to open all 4 of them, right? Like, you're gonna open 1 or 2. Like, let's say you have 4 and there's a card you want. Okay, you do that, and then you open the cards you want on the second cache. Now you have 2 spotlight caches still held for the next time you want to open for something. So it's not that you have to open 4 every single week. It's just that you should only ever open if you can guarantee you can get to what you want. They make this confusing on purpose. They added an element of variance to it on purpose, yes. Because gambling makes the brain go burr. Yeah, so if you have 4 and you open it a week and you get the card on the second try, you have 2 to hold towards the next time you want to open. It takes you on average, if your goal is to get a specific card out of a spotlight cache, it takes you on average 2.5 spotlight caches to get the thing you're looking for. Is the TLDR. Is the spotlight cache different for everyone? No, it's the same for everyone. The spotlight cache is defined at the start of the week, and everybody has the same thing in it. Yes. Varsar Panda, thank you for the 22 months. Welcome back. And Head Crash, thank you for the half a year. The big thing that's custom about the spotlight caches is if you own some of the predetermined cards in the cache, those cards aren't just missing, they're replaced with variants. So if like you own both the old cards in the cache and you open your first cache for a week, you're 50% to get a cosmetic. And then if you open one of the cosmetics, you're then 33% to get a cosmetic. Yeah, they said they would announce all of the spotlight cache groupings for the entire season at the start of the season. So, something you can expect from my YouTube channel moving forward is at the start of the month, once we know which groups of cards are in which spotlight caches, I will give a breakdown talking not just about which cards are the best to pull from the new cards, but talk about which spotlight caches have the best groupings of cards depending on what you're missing. Because ideally, you want to be opening caches on weeks where there's multiple cards that you're missing. Yes, all the variants are new variants, is accurate. Urban Mechanic, thank you for the 2 months. Welcome back. Having all cards, how will I open my caches? So, as far as like end game big whale players go, the thing that spotlight caches do for me personally is I will open spotlight caches on the weeks where they're releasing new Direct to Series 5 cards, and then I will buy for tokens the Direct to Series 4 releases. Because the spotlight cache system doesn't differentiate a Series 4 card versus a Series 5 card with how likely you are to get it. So the optimal resource usage there is you should use your spotlight caches on the weeks to try and get Series 5 cards. And then prioritize token usage for the others. I'm gonna go ahead and crystal here so we can work towards Modok for next turn. Yes, often the new season trailer goes live today sometime. I'm planning to stream for another, like, 2.5, 3 hours, so hopefully we get it today before we're done. So the best idea is to save collector's tokens for the Direct to Series 4 cards. That is correct. It's an accurate summation of some optimization in the system. I find the Epona and Skinny Pride variant very rude because it refuses to appear in my shop. What if I do this? Just play a little bit for the right, puts 10 on the left, it puts 4 in the middle. Do I want that one more than the other? I'd be happy with either of them. I think they're both great pieces of art. We were winning the fucking game, and Danger Room killed Chavez to give them the dub. We were winning the game, and Danger Room killed Chavez to give them the dub. Oh, man. Come on, bro. I just got done getting beat up in... Conquest. Cut me some slack. Egged. Agree. Say your collection complete and want one of the variants the week the card releases in Series 4. Do you buy it before you open caches? If you buy the new card with tokens before you start opening caches, the new card gets replaced with a cosmetic too. You literally can never open a card that doesn't, you literally can never open a Spotlight cache and have fewer than 4 things in it to start. Always 4 the first time through.
Face the might of Asgard. Mjolnir. Opponent snapped.
Are the cosmetics super expensive ones, or are they 700/1200 gold? The new cosmetics coming in the Spotlight caches are unique ones that are unique to there only. Only if you want the new cosmetic for that S4, Lucas. Their Hulk's bigger than 12, right? The fact that even the evolutionary deck is, yeah. Unfortunately, I think these discard decks were already like low B or high C rate before Spider Pig was added to the game, and in a post Spider Pig world, they are just not reasonable. So I just played Apocalypse right. Yeah, maybe we had a good chance of losing the left if I played Apocalypse right there, right? Has anyone seen Carrot since Spider-Ham release? You know, I actually haven't seen Carrot in chat for a little while. Carrot, if you're lurking, speak up. We're here for you. You played the She-Hulk, Moon Girl, Hitmonkey deck. So the problem with all the She-Hulk double up decks is that you just never beat a turn 5 wave. It's like the TLDR, and they also kind of struggle to have big enough numbers to beat the Lockjaw decks, if we're being honest. Could be fun to dork around with on the ladder, but it's just such a feels bad in the Conquest format. I've not played this game in 100 years. How is it right now? I think Marvel Snap's current format is one of the better ones they've had since the game released. Yeah, it says probably a bot, right? They played Swarm on the right here. They're ahead on 2 passes, they snapped on 5. Just waste my time. I will say I haven't missed that from Conquest. The fact that Conquest is bot free is really nice. The big difference if you haven't played Snap in a long time is, in addition to getting a balance patch every 4 weeks, they do what they call over-the-air updates 2 weeks out of the month, where they increase or decrease numbers on cards to kind of smooth things out. They mostly buff things with those. Take underplayed cards and make them a little bit more powerful, which is nice. Having a live service game that actually does live service stuff is wonderful. What should you do with your 7,000 gold? I recommend checking out my bundle video here and figuring out one of the upcoming bigger bundle things that you would be happy to pick up. But a murder there. There's Abu. I guess we don't have priority. Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. That's fine. We drew the Odin. We're going to go Wong, White Tiger, Odin, and we're going to win the game. I believe. 22 is enough to win the middle. Great. Copium, 22 is enough to win the middle. Good shit. Good shit. I don't know if my body is ready for the Magneto that Nick Fury randomly generated for them, but everybody clench. Hey, what's going on, Pseudonym? Thank you for the 2 years. Appreciate that. Got him?
Victory.
I actually don't think Spider-Man 2099 is very good inside of move decks. It's more of a utility destroy card that pairs well with like Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, and Vulture. It's kind of like a 4-card package. In my mind, that's what 2099 is, like a 4-card package with Fist, Ghost Spider, and Vulture. Yeah, I'm pretty over Conquest. We'll probably play some more of the lower ranked ones next season so we can get the rewards again, but single elimination in a format where you basically have to be playing the best decks, or you might as well just like not waste your time, is not a very feels good content experience. We're just chilling here. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should play the Ironheart out, actually. Talking and clicking at the same time. I got exactly the number of Infinity Avatars I was aiming to get when we started playing. Yeah, I messed this up by not playing Ironheart out.
Escaped.
Speaking of 2099 and that group of cards, play a little bit of this. Yes, Bifrosted Space Throne slides the first card over. We probably could have won that if I would have remembered to play Ironheart, but I messed up. For some reason, wasn't expecting there to be less variance in opposing decks like Conquest. No, yeah, I was fully expecting there to be basically zero deck variety in Conquest. Yeah, the last couple of Conquest videos on the YouTube side have not performed well. I'm going to try one more tomorrow, but there's a good chance we just slide back to focusing on, Aw, chat! The fascist we banned earlier decided to go over to my YouTube channel and leave a comment complaining. Always makes me chuckle how much they don't care. Spider-Man 2099, probably not good against the Deadpool deck. Nidvaler, pretty good against the Deadpool, pretty good for the Deadpool deck. They have about him. Hey, Alex, thanks for the tier 1, appreciate it. Never lucky rubber ducky. This Doc Ock might be a little spicy. Let's see where we end up at. What do you think of the last question where Second Dinner said if we as a group hoarded caches, they will act to make sure that we don't? I mean, I think every system decision that they make is based around the goal of making sure people hoard as little as possible. I think that's people hoarding the existing collector's tokens, I think is 100% why we are seeing the change to the current system that we're seeing the change to. Unfortunately, Shang-Chi Venom on the right without a Shang-Chi of our own means we do just got a boogie here, but yeah, an okay showing for Doc Ock, cleaning him out to here. Yeah, bud, you got it.
Escaped.
Okay. Drag old Vulture over. I'll have to decide who's going to be moving to New York, if anyone, once we have Spider-Man 2099 next turn. I'd like to top deck Iron Fist here so we can knock it into the center. Storm's a real awkward draw here at this point. Wanted to hit Doc Ock or Iron Fist there. I guess we just play this out to threaten it moving into New York. It's just this. It's probably just this, right? This is 8, 11 here. They only have 11 though. than Agent 13 Galactus, right? Someone asked, you already highlighted this deck, or am I going crazy? This is one that's in my backlog to highlight. We played it on the day 2099 released. It had some decent sets. Hey, Zedum, been a lurker on YouTube since Snap Drop. I finally got everything for the bounce deck, and I climbed from 20 to infinite last night, so I wanted to thank you for the content that's made me a better player. Hey, congrats! Thanks for the tip, and welcome over to a live one. Congrats on slamming through to infinite. What happened if you open more than 4 Spotlight caches in a week? You start acquiring cosmetics. The way these locations are, I'm just passing.
Aid my hand. Wind, aid my hand.
Maybe guaranteeing the Iron Fist on this was wrong. Well, I guess I could just pull it back with Ghost Spider, depending on what we do, right?
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man here.
You think in the next Conquest will allow you to change your deck after each game? No. They've said that they don't intend to add side decks or multi-deck or anything like that.
Escape.
And congrats, Mage Cakes. Goals. Still a couple of days to get to Infinite. Season rolls over Monday night. You should have dedicated badges if we got to infinite rank using just content. God bless. That's fine. Chat, you are the one that got you to infinite rank. I promise you, it's more you than me. Well, next season's card be Phoenix Force. I think next season's card release has the potential to be the worst card release for a season pass since Nick Fury was a card release. It's real bad. What else has been real bad? Man, these locations have just sucked. Oh, it's been a Friday, chat. It's been a Friday. What card is that? If you haven't seen the July card release I'm talking about, there's a full review of the season pass card and all the upcoming July releases in this video here. Feel free to take a peekaboo at it. Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Like, what did they figure out within their testing that this card is useful or does that's neat? That's not just like completely useless. I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills because people keep telling me you can play Phoenix Force with a Tuma. Do like people not realize that it will keep a Tuma's text box? Like, it'll keep a Tuba's text box. It'll still just blow up the following turn. Like, it's not good, chat. It's not good. People keep bringing up a Tuba, and it's just like, no. Wait, why didn't they hazmat the Wong path? I'm so confused. I'd love to draw Destroyer here. It's sad that this moved our stuff, because then I couldn't Zola the Venom. They said nothing about any of next month cards being Series 4 yet. Yeah, but they haven't announced any of next month's stuff yet. My understanding is 2 direct to Series 4 cards is probably on the high side, but I think their goal is like a third of them or so. Hopefully we'll get a season announcement video this afternoon. Usually afternoon US time, the Friday before is when it rolls out. Well, that's fun. Go Magic into Wolverine. They have been completely silent about compensation for the weekend missions that were messed up. I've been asking. Alright, well, we don't have to worry about Limbo getting stormed, which is nice. I might just be passing here. I want to set up Nimrod here next turn. I guess I could Iron Lad to try and hit Shuri. But if I hit, like... I guess hitting Zola wouldn't be the worst. Destroyer's kind of awkward, though. I think after reading a ton of Phoenix Force suggestions in the comments of my YouTube video, once you get past the suggestions to play it with cards that don't make sense, I think the best suggestion I've heard is you play it with multiple man. You like cardage your multiple man and then get a 9-power multiple man that you can move freely once. I think that's like the least shit thing you could do with it that jumps to mind. That I think was a good call out. Wow, they re-nerfed my Nimrod. Wolverine. Killmonger, your human torch feels like a lot of hoops to jump through to get a pretty minimal payoff.
Enough said, bub.
Oh, I guess if the Wolverine went left, that would have been real bad for us. I probably should have waved right, huh? Remember this one's the game.
Opponent snapped.
Yeah, it's the latter, but let's have a good time. We're gonna have what? 20 on the left, and we're gonna have 19 in the middle, and we're gonna have... I guess we're only at 8 on the right. Because my Nimrod's got shrunk. Ooh, we beat that, right? Because we win left and center. I think. Did I miss scout? Oh, we're only gonna tie the left. How do we do on the breaker? Is it a full tie? No, Wolverine's gonna go somewhere, so we're good. No! I forgot about their soaking stuff. Rip. Close. If Wolverine would have gone left or right, we'd have won the game, right? If we went right, we would have tied. We'd have been up 3 to down 3. So we were 1-3 to win, 1-3 to full tie, 1-3 to lose. And naturally, we've just been a punching bag all day today, so we hit the 1-3 to lose. It's just how it be. I have a bunch of Wolverine boosters. Only have 1 split on him, though. Okay, split this 3 times. We could split that 3 times. I don't have credits to split it 3 times. Wolverine will be on our list of things to consider splitting here coming up. Yeah, I assume merge means you keep the original card and the Phoenix Force disappears. You, like, add 6 power, and the text can move once per turn to the card you're bringing back. What's going on, Speed Jaeger?
Wind, aid my hand.
They already used their storm. So I'm gonna snap them before we magic the splitting. Whoop. And then we'll go Shuri. We'll go Shuri into Nimrod, into Venom, Carnage, into Zola. Oh, that's too many turns. But this is fine, though. This is fine. There's not time to Zola as well. That's fine. I think we still win with the... And the Wolverine here actually means I could go Wolverine, Venom, Carnage.
It's clobbering time. Opponent snapped.
Hang is such a troll fucking card.
Enough said.
Yes, I think this is the same person where we cocked their Keg earlier. I'm so glad Keg is not a metagame card. It would be so incredibly tedious if you had to experience this all the time. The old snap animation retreat. At least they didn't retreat later. Truth. Ghost Enjoyer. Ghost in a Craven deck. Interesting. We'll snap on Electro into the Quantum Tunnel. Sounds like some good stuff right there. So this local man about to flip out Arnim Zola. I guess a lot of our hits to the tunnel aren't great here. What's our best case hit into the tunnel? Like Magic? Okay. Magic, Wolverine, and Wave are all good hits here. Venom and Carnage, obviously bad. Rip. Okay, I'm gonna do this. And then I think we're gonna Destroyer. We're gonna Magic. Is that actually useful though? So I already have 6 energy, right? Oh, I guess this doesn't work though, huh? So yeah, so we do this because we need Nimrod to go mid. Am I supposed to Zola into Destroyer, maybe? Last card in my deck is Wolverine. We can do this. I gotta figure out what else I do. I get to play null too. I have 8 energy here. We just do this, right? Let's punt the middle. Play bigger for the left because their Heimdall slides left. Ooh, are we gonna lose? This Craven's huge. Craven and Vulture will slide over. So that's 18, 13, 31. All right, we overpowered the move deck, chat.
Victory.
Null is a large land. A very, very large land. Oh, Spider-Man 2099 killing our Carnage won the game. It totally did, didn't it? That's funny. It made Null 6 bigger. The avatars, the beta that you got for Infinite, the Thor and Daredevil, can you still get them for reserves or are they not obtainable? The base Thor and base Daredevil, I don't know. I know they're doing reruns on the cosmetics, but I don't know about the base versions or how that's gonna work exactly. Well, that makes our Iron Lad significantly worse. It might be take a mulligan on the matchup kind of game, Chip. I guess I could magic the middle, huh? The last couple of pieces of Conquest content I posted on YouTube have not been performing well. I'm gonna try one more Conquest video tomorrow, but if that underperforms also, I'm probably just gonna keep to ladder content for the YouTube side. What does mulligan mean? A mulligan means like to have a do-over. We get Enchantress Electro, that's true. We can also Enchantress like their Darkhawk later though. Open a draw, a way to blow up the left side here. Venom, Carnage, or what's it called? Yep, it's a nice one. The term mulligan come from Magic. That's the first time. I believe mulligan is originally a golf term, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. You gotta redo your shot, yeah. This Wolverine Zola could go real sideways, but it could also go great, is all I'm saying. Is that better than just getting the Carnage guaranteed? I guess I could just do this. Is this better? This is probably better, right? And I guess the Wolverine, in theory, could flip into here after it gets Carnage before the second Zola trigger happens. Did we get him? I think we got him, right? Oh, I could put a rock on the right to feed Carnage. No, I want Wolverine to be able to go here. Yeah. I think we're good, right? We win the breaker here? Oh, right, and Zola's gonna blow. No, this is good, because Zola's gonna blow a Nimrod back, right? Yeah, okay. Well, that was sick. I don't know if this deck's very good, but it's certainly a treat when it gets to do the stuff. Big swing energy. An extra point of power for Nimrod was good. I'm glad they nerfed Galactus so they can give him some love. He's a very, very sweet card that does like big Timmy things. Yeah, we 3-0'd an Infinity Conquest with Galactus. Or not Infinity, Gold Conquest. The one that you, we 3-0'd the one that you can 3-0. They're doing some good bar things too. This null's gonna be massive. Retro leaves. I saw all the games live for the Nimrod deck highlight. Well, welcome to a live one where we're doing some more. This deck was the deck highlight today over on the YouTube side. Speed Jaeger, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Appreciate you taking Tree Fitty from Jeffrey Bezos and sending it my way. All right, triple digit null. Giant Destroyer on bar. Yeah, maybe. I guess that makes the Venom better too a little bit. Perhaps you are correct. Mayhaps. Wolverine Venom's not that good, right? Because the Wolverines could like fill random spots up, and I want a clean Venom to be able to Zola it across probably. I would imagine. This is ideal, right? I should have played the Destroyer here last turn. Is what I should have done. Yeah, ultimately, we're going to, null into Zola the null. Oh my god, they used their Shang-Chi already. Oh my god, they used their Shang-Chi already. I think this does what we want it to do most of the time, right? Because we have 8 energy on turn 6, so we create 2 nulls. And then Zola hits one of these. I guess we can hit Venom here. Okay, this is definitely my record for biggest nulls. This is my record for biggest nulls.
Victory.
That one deserves a Twitter, I think. Oh wait, did I tweet about my deck highlight this afternoon? I didn't, right? Oh my god, the fascists we banned earlier, they followed me to Twitter in addition to YouTube. They're so thirsty, chat. Why are people the way they are? Why are people? All right, Dream Dimension, as is often the case, is a little bit sad. Maybe we can spike Magic next turn.
Wind.
I'll take that. Deal. Would still like to draw Magic so we can unflood it. Day late and $1 short there. That's gonna be the destroyer, right? Ship it. Hey Jeb, thanks for the video on Conquest deck. Subbed Wave into my High Evolutionary Lockjaw deck and hit my first Infinite Conquest with it. Nice. Yeah, I think Wave's an excellent piece of technology in that deck. Probably dead with that hit. It was unfortunate that this was nowhere, so I couldn't play for the left side with the Venom. That would have been ideal. Yeah. Yeah, we'd have actually won. And we'd have been able to play left because we would have had 6 on the right and 12 bill. Howard is at the top of the list for this card will downgrade series ASAP, along with Snowguard. They didn't announce downgrades in advance, but I wouldn't be surprised if Howard and Snowguard downgrade on the 11th. Well, they got our Wolverine, but we got their Venom, excuse me, so it seems like a fair trade. Howard should go right to Series 3. I agree with that. Them burning their copy of Magic is, or Reality Stone before we Magic is good for us. Got me. Jeff will just be a big bad one. I expect Jeff to hit Series 4 before too long. I expect him to live in Series 4 in perpetuity.
Enough said, bub. Enough said, bub. Enough said, bub.
One could argue that on that day, enough had been said, bub. Having 2 nulls probably wins every time with a streamer. Yeah, I think so.
Enough said, bub.
Do you believe in magic? And this turn 7. Gonna copy my null across the board now.
Opponent snapped.
It's the ladder, Shag Chibi Daddy. You know you want to. You know you want to. Do 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 do. Oh, get juked. Get juked. The Juke Master.
Victory.
Deba, that's all, folks. Big boomer snap. Feeding the cubes. Boom, boom, boom. Spew the cubes. Why are destroy decks so fun, chat? All of my decks I like clicking buttons on the most these days are Zola null decks, feels like. Ooh. Come on, Diablo's base, don't kill the fun location. Kill Westview, you know you want to. Wow. All right, now you can kill the Flooded. Oh, I should have sure he Nimrod center. So that way I could Venom here. Hoping to draw Destroyer next turn. He just got null and spent the last few days just playing a bunch of the negative Deadpool deck for a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that one is so much fun. Absolutely love it. Do I just bet on the right? That's probably the play to win line, right? Okay, we could also Iron Lad. It's probably just ideal to do this, huh? The Destroyer even better? Yeah, that's true. I don't know what the answer. I don't know if the answer is better or not. So Iron Lad's technically better than 1 and 3 here, right? Because if Iron Lad hits Magic, we get a turn 7. So Iron Lad's kind of 2/3 there. Although I guess if we hit Magic, we just draw Magic. But then we just get a redo at the thing the following turn. But it gives them an extra turn. It's probably best to just blow it up. Shit, everybody hanging out for some Friday Marvel Snap today. Just playing some chill, fun ladder games with the Nimrod pile of cards. That's a good time. I'm going to be off this weekend from live stuff as always, but you can expect daily highlights up over on the Hooglandia Snap on the YouTube side. And I am planning to just stream my normal Monday through Friday next week, so... holiday in the US technically on Monday, but it's gonna show up and do my gerb like we do every day. I think Hella Modoc can make it to infinite. Maybe. I think anything can make it to infinite if you play enough games. What's going on, Agent Nil? Thank you for the 2/3 of the year. Playing some Honkai. Nice. I need to, need to finish up the museum quest line they extended. Like 3/4 of the way through it. It's a long mission though. Did you just wave my Electro deck? So this kills these, puts this here, and then 12 power Nimrod goes here, and then Venom goes here as well and blasts it back. Or Shang-Chi proof here even, right? Gamers be snapping, yo. That is certainly a sequence of plays that you are allowed to snap on. It's really nice that Nimrod isn't just bad Doctor Doom anymore, right? Like, when Nimrod and Doombots were the same amount of stats, it's like, why would I ever work to enable this card? It's so much work than just more work than just playing Doctor Doom. Papi!
Enough said, bub.
I've been gaining ranks in Infinite because my opponent snaps and I just don't care enough to retreat. Oh my god.
Enough said, bub. Victory.
Sure thing, boss. Just gobble him up. Purple Polar Panzer. Stringing out for 11 months. Welcome back. Life's treating you alright. Shuri here, perhaps? Would really like to draw magic so we can get rid of this stupid Wakanda.
Enough said, bub.
Let's do this. See what we get. Do you believe in magic? And this turn 7. Do 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 do. Can't decide if I'm magicking Wakanda or not. Almost feels like I want to. Should I have played Lad left for that reason? Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Enough said, bub.
One could argue that on that day, enough had been said, bub.
Enough said, bub.
I want Wolverine to go left or right here. So naturally, he went middle. Actually, Zolaing the Wolverine's pretty funny, because we could Zola the Destroyer. Alright, cue up the clown car music, chat. Ain't nobody know what's about to happen here, but we're gonna learn about it together. I'm expecting a fast forward. No! Wow. Did fun ever do to you, opponent? Imagine hating fun this much, chat. Are we good anyways? I think we're good anyways, right? This has been a very great and silly day for this deck. Look at all of our Wolverines. This is the big brain deck they don't want you to know about. Random bullshit. Go. Random destroy bullshit. Go. Enough has been said by the bub. Is Bar Sinister a hot location? I mean, I'm always hot and bothered when Bar Sinister flips up, if that's what you mean. Feel a deck highlight coming up. This was actually this afternoon's deck highlight. So if you didn't see this deck last time we played it, there are 6 really phenomenal games on the Hooglandia Snap YouTube channel. They're just actually all bangers. All thriller, no filler. Yeah, exactly. Which, honestly, that's probably why the traditional highlights perform a little bit better than Conquest dub. That Conquest does on the YouTube side, because Conquest games definitely have a good chunk of filler in them, right? When you put full sets up. They're like 2-2. Yeah, they are also longer, it's true. Even the couple of shorter ones I posted haven't performed super well, though. I should make a point to do a Conquest video that's just a single Conquest match this weekend to see how one performs that's sub 20 minutes. My metrics have shown that like 13 to 17 minutes seems to be like the sweet spot in terms of how long I want a video to be in terms of get the best metrics on it. Making a point to try a bit of Conquest content that's in that ideal time. Something I should make a point to do. Let's put the pig over here just in case we want to Zola it. Yeah, when I'm talking about things underperforming, Nastrades, I'm not talking about like a single data point. Like the last 3 Conquest videos have all performed under expectations. That's a null, probably dead, because I can't Zola now. Guess I can try left and right. Have you tried making shorts? So, I know I don't look it, but I am actually over 30, which means that it's illegal for me to make video content in a vertical format. So I think shorts are an interesting thing that could be worth exploring. It's not worth going to jail over. It was funny. My 2 older kids were talking into the back seat of the car when I was driving them the other day, and one of them said something about TikTok, and the other one was just like, "Why would you watch TikTok? It's just crappy YouTube." That just had me laughing. Like, if you want vertical videos, you just watch YouTube shorts. I promise, chat, that the only thing I've biased my children against is billionaires. They came to their own conclusions about TikTok and YouTube, okay? That's all them. Armor! Rip. Our Iron Lad stock's going up. This is the best Iron Lad deck I've ever played, but I also think that's a kind of low bar.
Opponent snapped.
They're gonna reality stone our limbo.
Escaped.
Alright, I think queuing into the armor deck is a sign it's time to move along to something else. I think it's just gonna be a silly Friday, chat. We spent the rest of the week sweating in Conquest. Let's shake it out here a little bit to end. Let's embrace chaos. Yes, Infinity Conquest ends at the season rollover, is accurate. Yeah, I'll take a card from both players here. Ends like gone. So Infinity Conquest goes away at the end of the week. Regular Conquest, Proving through Gold, those stay all the time. All of your tickets and medals disappear. They turn into boosters at a worse rate than buying boosters does. So you should make a point to spend your boosters. Oh my god, we're about to end this person's entire career, chat. Put him in the fucking ground. What if I do this, actually? Just, like, murder their shocker, too, just for the hell of it? I think this is worse, because we could discard the death, but it's way funnier, so I'm gonna do it. Oh, I forgot they had a brood. Whatever. We killed their Ultron, too. Oh, did I do this in the wrong order? Did I miss 2 points of power here? I think I might have missed 2 points of power here. No, I didn't. Cool, and we need the 2 points. I love it when a plan comes together.
Victory.
That's the good stuff right there.
The universe shall be set right.
So these locations are both fine for us. I'm gonna go ahead and Reality Stone the right here. Been watching too much YouTube. I just tried to rewind the stream. LOL. Ooh. Are they also a Lockjaw deck? They haven't played anything till 3. I think most of the time when people do nothing till 3, they're Lockjaw in this format. The old Moon Knight into the Bifrost. Oh, that's actually kind of sick, because it means that I get to move Lockjaw back to the Bifrost. This, discard a fatty, draw a stone, draw a random. Yes. I could lose to a Galactus on the right, I suppose. What's the economy change chance of an 8K credits close to the ceiling? A heads up, you can spend your credits and just not open the collector's reserves. They've said held reserves will get converted. Oh, I forgot to end. Yeah. They've said held reserves will get converted appropriately. Oh, I should time stone so I draw it for my stone. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's low-key kind of okay, right? Because it means they can't Galactus us here now. And we Moon Knighted their destroyer. Gonna lose the, like, death on the left. Oh yeah, that'll do pig. That'll do pig, that'll do. Oh! Was Power Stone active? We still would have lost, right? But we would have won here. I think Power Stone was active. Yeah. Might have not been Galactus. Yeah, I guess it could have been the deck we were playing last set. Yeah, but Gambit tried his hardest, shit.
The universe shall be set right.
It's hard to defeat Nimrod, sure, if they have it, because you can't Shang it. You need more Shadow King in your life, obviously. Marble snapped format staple. Well, they're also Thanos. Interesting. Let's Gambit and then Time Stone so we can't discard Hella. Thanos high evolutionary. Yep. Well, so I don't know that I agree that the metagame gives Shadow King a ton of room to shine. I think that's probably a take I disagree with. It's only okay against. It's only okay against what's it called? Thanos Power Stone. I think I like hella Power Stone. And then next turn we can either Thanos or like 3-drop Surfer. Depending on where our Infinite goes. The thing about the bounce deck is the bounce deck is really good at not having priority, which makes Shadow King awkward. And Ghost is just like kinda not a great card. It's like the TLDR. Actually, this ties the left, right? Up by enough to beat a Hulk, though? I think so. Like a Hulk Wasp, I guess. I think I'm supposed to drop Lady Sif on the left to beat a Wasp over there. The big problem with Surfer, I agree that Surfer is probably the best Shadow King deck, but Surfer just doesn't have great cards that let it keep up with the Lockjaw evolutionary deck. You just like can't really afford to fit Shang-Chi into your curve anywhere, and so like execute your base game plan. Good, I think we're good. And they couldn't play middle realistically because they'd lose the Atlantis bonus.
Victory.
You Storm Jug one lane and Goose another, you can limit them a little bit. Yeah, but you're basically just like always losing the Lockjaw path, right? And sometimes they still like get you with Doctor Doom and stuff. This deck list punches firmly above its weight class. It is. This deck is significantly better than this list of cards has any right to be.
The universe shall be set right.
Jean Grey will be sweet with Surfer. Yeah, Jean Grey might reach you a critical mass of these are disruptive location things for that archetype for sure. I would love to build up my Lockjaw pass to the center.
Face the might of Asgard.
Oh yeah. We'll try and tag their hand here. Completely not sarcastically, this is the best Helen deck I've played. Like, legitimately. Do I want to Killmonger this turn? I think I do. Best Thanos deck. Well, shit. I mean, okay, we've got their Hulk.
All systems go.
They magnetoed our lockjaw, and they had priority, so the lockjaw was in the path that I played the Hulk to, so the Hulk got lockjawed into a gambit. Yes, Hulk loses extra power if you play him left, is accurate. Oh, there was a visual bug going on. Yes, that definitely didn't help. I'm gonna hold on to the Reality Stone to play with Lockjaw, I think, here. I think they should adjust how Kitty works with priority. Yes, I've talked about how I think that would be the ideal fix for Kitty Pride. And she should count towards priority for the turn. I think would be a appropriate buff / change for how bounce works. It's also a change they could make that, like, doesn't require them to change the text on anything, really. Just, like, is a behavior thing with the order that things happen at the start of the turn. I didn't press the button. All right, in this instance, we want a Reality Stone before we Moon Knight, because we want to have less of a chance of discarding Hela. Obviously, Moon Knight discards Hela every time, but we want to at least pretend we were unlucky when it happens. Ooh. Big rip. All right, they have Onslaught Citadel with turn 3 Mr. Negative. I need to run to the restroom really quick. I'm gonna hit an ad roll because I'm stepping away. We'll see you in 90 seconds. We're gonna play some more of our slot machine when we get back. BRB. We'd have gotten them with Reality Stone plus Wave. Yeah, maybe. That was more of a, I'm going to run to the bathroom retreat than a we're 100% dead retreat.
Destiny will arrive. Victory.
Opponent has had enough of our ugly face. Deuces. Deuces, they're out of there.
The universe shall be set right.
Ooh, that's a piece of candy. There's no reason to play the Power Stone outright. We don't need to let them know that it's there. I also want to be less likely to discard Hela. Yeah, man, we played a bunch of Infinite Conquest the last couple of days. We played a few to start today, but I'm pretty over it. Single elimination, high entry fee, and the deck list everybody's playing being super sweaty made it kind of a whatever experience. I definitely enjoy Proving Ground through Gold a lot more than Infinite Conquest. There's a lot less deck variety inside of it, the Infinite Conquest, because people are tryharding more. Got me. Oh, they only have one card in hand. That's fine, we might get it. I wouldn't have gotten it either way. They should have kept it in hand, chat. The fool. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's gonna depend on the order Hela things flip up in here, huh? Getting Infinite in here is nice. Maybe you'd see Electra so often again. Fun card people want to play. The new collector spotlight system is beneficial for all players regardless of their current resources or collection size. So unless you desperately want a card that's already released, I'd recommend holding your reserves or credits till the new system is in place. Doesn't bother us at all. I'm gonna hold on to the Power Stone because I want extra things in my hand that aren't Hela to discard when we play our discard cards. Could you repeat that, please? Yeah, I said you should hold your stuff regardless of what your collection looks like. Clear these out in case we draw death. So they have a null coming then that they're blowing up their Kitty Pride? Either that or a very big misclick. don't have any discards yet, right? Just Black Cat. Maybe they got the Phoenix Force early. LOL. Why is it beneficial to hold credits? It's not. You just shouldn't be opening reserves. It doesn't matter if you're holding them as reserves, if you're holding them as credits for later. There's never really been a whole reason to hold credits, because reserves determine their contents when they're actually opened. Death and Null need to be nerfed. Stop it. These cards are playable for like the first time fucking ever. Questions like that are a trap because there's no logical reason to think that those cards should be changed, so I can't give you a compelling logical argument to convince you otherwise, because you can't logic someone out of a position they didn't logic themselves into. Opponent appreciates our professionalism. You know, you'd be surprised how often Moon Knight just does that. Where he's like, yo, bro, what if I just, like, took away your card? Are we done here? Think that there should be more rewards above infinite ranks or ladder games and infinite have more meaning. Yeah, maybe. It's like, kind of like a fine line, though, because if they put like an endless string of rewards in infinite, it feels really bad for people who are bad at the game. And like, most people are bad at the game, right? Like the number of people who are making it to infinite is a small percentage. Alright, we're gonna draw Killmonger and clear all these ones out. Are most people who play regularly not making it infinite? That is correct. Part of the reason why they keep adjusting the amount of cubes and stuff is because most people aren't making it to infinite, and they want more people to make it past that threshold. At one point post-release, the second dinner team had shared that it was like as few as like 3% was making it to infinite. It was an astonishingly low number. Why do they care? So matchmaking is better. I don't know exactly. That's a good question. I would assume that part of it is they have my assumption would be that part of it is I'm just gonna play for Killmonger here. My assumption would be that part of it is they want They want infinite leaderboards to exist at some point and have a good number of people on them. Yes, there's also a satisfaction factor as well. That's true. Rip.
Opponent snapped.
Yeah, we're technically winning the left with the surfer, but I don't think we could win center or right.
Escaped.
Yeah, time's definitely a factor too. Some of the changes they've been making have made it so it's just like less time to make that climb.
Destiny will arrive.
I've often said on stream before, I think if you can get to rank 80, getting to infinite is just a matter of time after that. It's not really a skill differential. Just gotta like put in the volume. Our deck is not a good Bar Sinister deck. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. They have never shared a full rank distribution to my knowledge, no. They've mentioned the percentage of people inside of Infinite a couple of times, but never, this is how everything shakes out exactly. You buy High Evo with tokens or wait for the next patch. I think if you want to win games of Marvel Snap, picking up High Evolutionary is one of the best ways you can do that currently. What do you think of null death equivalents but for discard? I mean, cards that benefit from both players' actions. I find it weird that they want destroyed at that functionality. I don't think it's weird at all to have a particular archetype have a particular type of payoff. Makes them feel more unique. No, they still haven't sent out compensation for the weekend missions that were flubbed. One of these two would have been ideal, but not Hella is also good. Hey, congrats on your infinite climb, Outlaw Racer. Alright, so we have Black Cat and Death. Could break either way here. Go. They do not share balance details in advance, Adam, outside of, there's, one of the perks of the content creator program is they give some patch notes and things like a day or two early, but like never weeks out like this. And everybody in that program is NDA'd until they're public. Next patch is expected on the 6th. No, the 11th is the next scheduled patch. Never patches on Thursdays every 4 Tuesdays. Well, nothing to do yet. Elysium will let us pump things out later. Lockjaw Wasp on turn 2, and Lockjaw on turn 3 is not enough. Might be 5 Tuesdays between the next patch and the one after that, right? Why would that be the case? 5 week seasons don't really differentiate patch times. The patches being 4 weeks are about their development cycle, not about the season length, is my understanding. Infinite was a good discard, but unfortunately, the little baby Infinite. Yeah, man, hitting the Stone Cold worst thing on the board's a tried and true classic.
I am ego, and this is my domain.
Well, I mean, I don't even think Ego can mess this up because he plays all the cards out because they have Wasp and Hammer plus a thing.
Escaped.
Snapping Ego on turn 6 when we know we're dead to rights is not really constructive or useful.
Destiny will arrive.
Come sit on Uncle Patch's lap and he'll teach you about sprints and agile development. Honestly, from the outside looking in, Snap really feels like one of the only game companies I've ever seen that really actually hits in terms of like making agile happen how it's supposed to. Their cycle definitely feels like they're achieving what that system wants to be achieving. Agile development for the non-devs is supposed to mean that you're more flexible in like how your dev cycle is going. TFT does it well too. Yes, I've heard that. TFT. That's not a game that I play, but that's a good call out. All right, so Jeff in their deck probably means they're playing the Lambie variation that plays Iron Man as well, would be my expectation. When you see Jeff inside of Bounce, you should typically assume that Iron Man is going to be there. We have priority here, which kind of sucks. Can't Killmonger. Well, I could Killmonger. I think they moved their patch day if it fell on season rollover. No, I don't think so. If anything, I think I would argue that a patch at the start of the season is probably more good than bad, right? I assume because Kitty Pride is Kitty Pride that they're going to not have priority going into the last turn too. All right, let's see if we can win this coin flip center, huh? Actually, if we win the coin flip center, Hella's gonna put Killmonger into play after priority. God damn it. Never lucky fucking rubber ducky. I guess we're winning the center at least. This could be Infinite or Thanos. Ship it.
Victory.
Also wasn't great for them at least. All right, chat. It's about 3 o'clock. It's a holiday weekend, so we're going to be having some friends over tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here a touch early. Appreciate everybody that was here for our short Friday stream. Appreciate everybody that supported and got us up around our sub goal here at the end of the month. We're going to remain ad-free here in Hoaglandia during July thanks to the generous support of the community. Appreciate you all. How was this deck? If you haven't seen this deck before, There's 2 different deck highlights, one from Conquest, one for normal ladder matches up on the YouTube channel. You should definitely check it out on the Hooglandia Snap side. There's also 2 new videos up there today. If you didn't check them out and you want to help support my content by doing that, there is a best decks in Conquest video as well as a Nimrod ramp highlight. If you're looking for a deck that really pops off and is super sweet, be sure to check that out as well. And then just to throw infinite YouTube stuff at you, Bootman just sent me a DM and let me know that my video with him is posted and available. So we did an interview chat live on stream yesterday. He edited up the best bits and put it up here. So check out his channel on that video there. I'm going to give it a thumbs up and some watch time now. Everybody else, enjoy your Friday and stay safe out there. If you live in the United States, don't do anything stupid and blow yourself or anybody else up this weekend. It can be crazy out there. Keep all your fingers and toes, huh? I'm gonna give Binks a raid. They're live streaming some Marvel Snap. Check them out. You're staying over here on the Twitch side. Yes, I will be around the YouTube all weekend.